Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. It's been a while. And some of you missed me, and I guarantee I missed you. Today's date is Friday, August 4th, 2023. We're going to be taking a look today at yesterday's indictment of Mr. T. I've got a compilation that we're going to go to real quickly and look at. And as always, that compilation will be available to you if you'd like to follow the Facebook link that will be in the video description box under my YouTube channel. And but you're welcome to do your own searching and find sources. I did find there was so much glee in the mainstream media. It took a little bit to find some balanced and even opposing viewpoints at the glee about this indictment. Now, personally, here's the Laura's View part of this video. I know Mr. T plays 5D chess, and he plays it really, really well. And one of the things that's going to happen with these indictments is this allows him to finally, he's bring forward the evidence that he has tried to share in other ways and forms over the past couple of years. So they may have done him a favor. We'll see what the universe has to say about all that after we look at this compilation. Okay, 1 second. Okay, now from the Washington Post, which is fairly mainstream, here's an article talking about what he pled not guilty to. Here is a tweet, I believe it was a tweet, from not Kenny Rogers. It says, arresting people for saying our elections are rigged seems like a horrible way to convince people our elections aren't rigged. All right. Now, if you'd like to go a little deeper into it, here is justthenews.com has an article about just five 2020 election irregularities that kind of make this whole Jack Smith charade rather redundant. Okay, and again, here from redstate.com, Jack Smith really does not want to have the trial moved, although there is a lot of precedence for if you can't get a fair trial in one location, you can ask to have the trial moved. Hopefully that'll happen. But if not, I still, I have no doubt that the best possible outcome for all of these moves and countermoves is going to be had. And why? Because I refuse to live in a world where anything less happens than the best possible outcome. Do I know what that is? No, but let's see if the cards can give us a little bit of a clue. I'm going to see if Chloe will get off the tarot table and let us take a peek at the cards. So our question tonight is, we're just going to ask the universe for insights and information about the most recent indictment of Mr. T. And I have also asked that the universe on cards 8 and 9 give us an idea of what the possible outcome of these shenanigans and indictments will be. Let's find out together, okay? Okay, insights and information via a traditional Kachina knife spread about the indictment, most current one, and any others that the universe wants to give some insights on. And then cards 8 and 9, probable outcome of this current indictment, others that are commented on by the cards, and on this timeline at this time. So right now, what's the probable outcome? Okay, we have the 9 of Wands, King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Five of Wands, Knight of Swords, Eight of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, let's talk about those cards, shall we? First of all, the situation is indicated by the Nine of Wands. And then clarified, or a little more information is indicated by the King of Pentacles. So what's happening is that the Nine of Wands indicates that, first of all, lots of activity going on. Okay, the deep state is doing everything in their power to try to derail any future political hopes of Mr. T, and to also distract us from new reveals of corruption in 46's family and administration. I hope they haven't succeeded with those of you who watch a channel like mine. The King of Pentacles telling us a little bit more is one about, he's a faithful provider. He's about sovereignty. And so this is indicating that, yeah, Mr. T feels targeted, rightly so. Okay, but ultimately it's not going to affect his leadership or his sovereignty or his basic role in all of the world events that are playing out. The Knight of Cups shows up as our influence in the recent past. Knight of Cups is false promises and trickery, okay, fraud. So all these charges against him are just purely fabricated. Okay, there's not much substance to them, none at all. Did January 6th happen? Yes. Date on the calendar? Yes. Did Mr. T incite any opposition? No. He simply would not concede the election. And then he told people that did want to protest to go home, stay safe. And that's how I remember it. But that's not how they're doing it in the indictment, in the cherry picking and phrasing they're using. But again, fraud and trickery. Okay, the five showing up, Five of Wands. Again, these are events. Fives tend to talk about temporary situations. So this, well, I believe that Jack Smith is hoping to drag these indictments out well into 2024. This card indicates that really it's going to be more of a temporary situation. So let's see if the rest of the read kind of bears that out. Now, remember, temporary for us and temporary for the universe can be two different things. Okay, temporary for me, sorry, I got a cat trying to visit again. Temporary for me is like this month. Temporary for the universe is, can be much longer. Let's look at the upcoming events. Okay, the near future card for Mr. T is indicated in this situation by the Knight of Swords. The Alliance and the White Hats are not going to let this play out any way other than with as much integrity as possible and truth getting out there. Knight of Swords is a card of discovery. And it's funny that because discovery is actually what is now enabled by these allegations turning into an indictment. During the trial process, discovery is something that can't be opposed. And like I said earlier in the Laura's View part of this video, every single bit of the evidence that Mr. T has tried to get people to listen to and hear, he can now present during the discovery process. So in the future, that's going to be a player. Now, that's going to cause a turning point. This card indicates a turning point in events and perceptions. Okay, so there is going to be a turn. I'm not worried about what that change and that turning point is going to be because of this card. This card is talking about Wheel of Fortune, always talks about moving farther into the light, away from darkness and into the light. Now let's get it, the two cards that I'm most curious about. Probable outcome, although we've got some indications here. Okay, he's going to have a solid defense. They're planning for this. They've been ready for this. They may have even kind of maneuvered in this 5D chess thing to have just this eventuality become a reality. All right. The Hermit shows up and the Six of Pentacles. The Hermit, shining a light again on the situation. This means that there is some divine and even off-world oversight going on, again, always with the White Hats and Alliance. We have to realize our alliance is not just among mankind, but and not just in one country. It's global and beyond. Now, if your beyond is only as far as believing that there is a loving creator, that's fine. Mine is loving creator plus other intelligent, benevolent beings that have an interest in seeing humanity's path restored to what it should have been, so that we could finally start working towards some of our potential. That would be great. And again, the outcome here is this is a card showing some. It's funny that the scales of justice are showing up here. So we didn't get a justice card, but we do have some scales, and they're very, very even, saying that the outcome is going to be one of balance and moderation. Okay, so what does that say to me? That says, of course, this truly may go to trial, but it's not going to be nearly the circus that Jack Smith is hoping it will be. And so that's what we have for this read so far. We'll see how it all plays out then in the theater, which is our current events in this banana republic that used to be the United States of America. So let's recap. We were asking for insights and information about this latest indictment against Mr. T, plus any other, the other indictments. Now we've got multiple ones that the universe wished to talk to us about. The situation was indicated by the 9 of Wands. Also, nines are getting close to an ending of something. So this may be the last indictment that they dream up for Mr. T. Okay, and it's a card where this determination. He's going to see it through. Okay, he's taken a lot of. He being Mr. T has taken a lot of hits for us, and the man has my total respect in that regard. Okay, his sovereignty, his wisdom is going to shine through. He is not the buffoon that the mainstream would have you believe, and neither are his legal team. The recent past about these indictments, they're based on falsehoods and half-truths and distortions. This is a card of trickery. Okay, the present card indicates that this situation may not be that long lasting. Fives tend to be temporary situations. So I don't think, even if this goes to trial, that it's going to be the circus and the extended circus that Jack Smith is hoping, because his true aim here is to, interfere with the election process. Okay. Then we got into the moving ahead, looking forward. We have the Knight of Swords showing up. White Hat Alliance card. Really a good card of determination and integrity, and not backing down from a challenge. Okay, and meeting it smartly. Okay, sometimes you don't interfere with your opponent when they're in the process of shooting themselves in the foot. A turning point is indicated in the near future, that there's going to be a turning point in all of these. Now, whether it's a separate event that nullifies the indictment process or what, I don't know. We didn't get a hint on that yet, but I'm interested. But that turning point, I don't worry about what it is, because the Wheel of Fortune showed up to tell more. And the Wheel of Fortune is always moving towards the light. Always. Always. We may come to a time where we're finally in the light and it can be flip-flopping either way, but right now it's always moving, and it's always moving towards the light. Then I asked about probable outcome cards 8 and 9. And we just got a reassurance. The outcome is being watched closely, okay, and monitored closely. And Mr. T is under protection of our loving creator and benevolent off-world and the White Hats and the Alliance. And he is absolutely, he and his family, those he cares about, are covered in prayer daily by millions and millions of people, including me. And then the outcome, again, just a nod to it's not going to be all the huge drama and outcome that Mr. Smith hopes. There's going to be some fairness that ends up coming into play here. And again, that discovery process that we talked about, cards indicated discovery, that is going to be key and huge to the proceedings, because Mr. T can finally enter into evidence some truth that has not had a chance to be truly reviewed, appreciated, and seen the light of day. So that's it for this video. If you'd like to stick around for a minute, you can. It has nothing to do with this tarot reading. So I will, those of you that are here just for the politics, I wish you love and light and all things bright. And thank you so much for viewing and your time, and for being willing to think outside the box a little bit as we mull current events over and use an intuitive aid like the tarot cards to see if there's more information or insights to be had, because that's how I use them, as an intuitive aid. I don't channel outside the energy. All right, now for the other part of it. Just an update, my daughter's surgery went okay. Recovery is not as easy as she was hoping, and I've had to do some caregiving and 3-year-old watching, and my 3-year-old grandson doesn't take a nap. So even if I'd had the energy to create some content, I didn't have the time. And when we were down in Portland for the surgery, which is a 5-hour drive each way, so we had to stay in a hotel. The hotel we stayed at had absolutely awful internet connection, and I doubt I could have gotten one out to you anyway. So I appreciate your patience, and I hope that if you were worried about me, you're no longer worried about me. I tried to give everybody a heads up that this would be happening. And but I'm back in town, back at it as much as possible. So and in the meantime, I do want to say something. While I was gone, the timing couldn't have been better. I got a couple of gifts in the mail on my PO box for the channel that just really, really touched my heart. Bara in Germany sent me a box that had, it was a never-ending extravaganza of opening up and finding necklaces and tarot cloths and gems and beautiful notes and well wishes. And then my good friend Linda Paris forwarded a couple of t-shirts. At one time she and I talked about childhood crushes, and we both admitted we were so innocent that we actually had crushes when we were very, very young on cartoon characters. Mine being Casper, because he seemed so friendly. He seemed like he would make nice boyfriend material because he was always happy and he was always friendly. And so someone sent me some Casper t-shirts. And then Linda sent me a drawing that she did herself. She is quite the artist. It's beautiful. In fact, I'm going to pause and get it and show you. Okay, 1 second. And here it is. It's a bowl of apples, and apples for the teacher, and a symbol of all sorts of good things, including nutrition and keeping the doctor away, which we want to do until we get Big Farm out of the picture, and everything else. So thank you, Linda, and thank you, Bara, and everybody else that sends healing thoughts and energy and prayers and positivity. You don't have to send me gifts. Okay, let me make that really, really clear. I am living in just under 500 square feet of space, so space is an issue. I don't have to have your gifts, but you know what? Because there is negative energy that gets directed my way, since I do the channel the way I do with the focus that I have, I do appreciate your prayers and your positivity and your healing thoughts and energy, because those do more than counter anything negative that comes my way. It keeps me safe, and I know it improves my health and definitely improves my outlook and makes my life much, much better. So for those of you that provide that kind of energy and gift, believe me, I'm not just making it up when I say that I appreciate that just as much as something tangible. Okay, it's very, very valued. A t-shirt is not going to keep me safe. but prayers and intentions do. So thank you, everyone. That's it for this video from Chloe, who finally decided to settle down. And I will see you again really, really soon. And in the meantime, bye and everything bright.